County tax overages list. How do you get it? What is it? And what the heck's an overage anyway? So today you're going to learn the exact Google searches that will work to get you the list. I'm also going to teach you the secret niches where you can't get the list and you can't understand why. The secret way that you can get the list from counties even when it's not very public. It's still public information, but unless you're an insider with some tips, you're never going to get those lists. I'm going to show you the secrets to do that very inexpensive, easily, and quickly. I'm also going to show you how you can pursue overages as a business, which is low cost to start. You never have to borrow any money, and you can even start it part-time and build it up to a full-time, amazing business, helping people and making money. So number one, how do you get these things? Well, the good news is mostly these days they're on the internet. A simple Google search will get it for you. What you want to do is put in the county, the state, and overages list. So for example, DeKalb County, Georgia overages list. You can also put in DeKalb County, Georgia excess funds list, because in different states, they'll call them different things. Some are called overages, some are called excess funds, some are called overbids. Generally, Google's smart enough to figure out that they're synonymous, but just in case, you can try a couple of variations on it. But try this one. Try DeKalb County, Georgia excess funds list on Google. That will work for you 100%. You can put in most counties in the country, the name of the county and excess funds or overages list, and you'll probably get to it. Now, sometimes you're not going to get to it there, and it's going to take more digging. And that could mean that you're in a state where they're not offering overages. There are a couple of states like that. Those states are thankfully disappearing because of a recent Supreme Court ruling, but there's still a couple states, like effectively Michigan doesn't have overages, effectively Illinois doesn't have overages, Colorado doesn't have accessible overages. So there are a couple states where, because they do a different tax sale process, do not generate overages. But for most states, they are available, and mostly that Google search is going to get you the list. So the question is, what is this list and how do you even read the thing? So generally speaking, it's going to have the name of the person, the amount of money that they're owed, and a reference to the tax sale. And those kinds of lists are pretty good because that's going to get you what you need to start contacting the people and working with them. Now, some of these lists don't have owner names on it. That'll drive you bonkers. That's going to have a code in it, and that code is the tax assessor's ID number, often called the personal identifier number or PIN. Sometimes it's called the folio number, but what it is, it's the account number that the tax assessor has assigned to that property. And if you get a list where you're not seeing the owner name, what you need to do is go look up an old tax bill. So go to the tax assessor's website for that county and look up a tax bill. All those assessor sites allow you to look up old tax bills, and look up a tax bill from prior to the tax sale auction, just the year prior. That's going to give you the name of the owner and the address of the property, and then you can do your next steps. Because what you're going to be doing if you're getting an overages list, obviously, is you're entering into the overages business, which is the business that I'm in. And the steps in that business are getting the lists, which is what we're talking about today, and then getting the contact information for the people, and then reaching out to them with the good news and see if they want to work with you, and then processing the claim. We're obviously not going to talk about those steps in this video because that's not what this is about. This is about getting the lists. Now, there are a few counties where you have to reach out to them to get the list, and you could do that in two ways. Easiest way is most of the counties on their websites have a place where you can make an inquiry. And I would go to the tax assessor's website and put in an inquiry there, or call them up on the phone and talk to them. Say, hey, when you sell a property at tax sale and you have money left over, do you have a list of that money? And they may call it excess funds, they may call it overbids, they may call it overages, but if you describe it in that way, when there's money left over, is there a list of that money? Then they'll recognize it, and these lists are public record, they're not a state secret, and the ladies and gentlemen that work at those offices are happy to give it to you. Now, generally speaking, they're just going to email it, or they'll say, oh, you have to look on our website, let me guide you through it, and they can guide you through it right on the phone. Occasionally, they make you buy the list. And this is a pretty simple process. They'll say to you, well, send us a letter saying what it is that you want, this list, and $3 in the form of money order and a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll mail you the list. So what's that about? Well, some places they're just going to give you a physical list and they charge you a copying fee, usually about $1 a page. Usually these lists are about 3 pages. So for a couple of bucks, you're going to get your list that you can work from. Very worthwhile thing. You can think of it, you're going to have a list that a lot of people won't have because people won't make that effort. So that's good. And it's just a little bit of nuisance to do. Or if you don't like that, just go into another county. Most of the lists these days are available online. And on that list, it's going to give you the information you need to get started with the process, which is how much is owed. Now typically these amounts are tens of thousands of dollars. You're going to see these days lists of $100,000 and more. And the reason I say that is houses have gone up so much in value. And we all know, I think, in the past 10 years or so, the houses have more than doubled. And since COVID, they've had a big increase. And that's probably the biggest part of that increase is post-COVID. So, you get these big increases of value, which create a lot of equity, which create a lot of excess funds and overages. So these days we're seeing six-figure claims pretty routinely. And that's great for you as an overages entrepreneur because you're going to be paid a percentage of the money that you recover for overages. So the more money you recover, the more money you get paid because it's a bigger commission. So it's great news. The other thing I'll tell you is that there are about 3,000 properties sold at tax sale each and every business day in America. So there is plenty out there. So as you're getting these lists, you're going to very quickly find that you have way more leads than you can ever pursue, which is a great problem to have in business. I wouldn't like to have too many people to do business with where you can pick the people that you work with. You can pick the ones that are easy to work with, pick the ones with their easier claims, pick the ones in better states because you're not desperate. They should be desperate for your help. So it's really great. So some things you'll want to learn to get into this business. You obviously need to learn, how to get the lists, how to get the contact information for the people, what to say to them, which is often the key because a lot of people, they get on the phone and you think you're going to say the right thing. And boy, you just put your foot in your mouth. That conversation is the key to this entire business. It's making a skillful conversation where you're not telling people where the money is, but you're getting them intrigued and interested and wanting to hire you because you did the research. You know where the money is. You know how to get it. So they need your help. But that's a skillful conversation because you can't give away the farm. You can't tell people where the money is. And also people are naturally going to be skeptical. I mean, these days we have people constantly trying to flim-flam in some weird way. So you got to talk through that and you need the right words to say. So that needs to be the right conversation, structured in the right way. We spent years in our business perfecting that and we've perfected it into a smooth process, but you need perfection in that part of your business. And also you need to know how to make the claims. And claims are different in different states. Some claims in some states are called judicial claims. Some claims are non-judicial or administrative claims. You need to know how to do it in wherever you're going to be operating. So if you want a full education on this, I am in the business of overages. I'm also in the business of educating people in it. And to get started in that, click on the link below. There's a short 15-minute intro to the overages business video. Just go and check that out. It'll give you a good outline of the business and get you the next steps. This is not a particularly complex or expensive business to start, but going to be a highly, highly profitable and I should say fun business. If you want a business where you're helping people and you make great money, this is an amazing business for that. A couple of other sort of insider secrets to the overages business. A lot of people ask me, well, why don't people get the money themselves? The reason is they don't know about it. So the official government statistic is that 72% of the time, the money never gets claimed. That's because 7 out of 10 people have no idea there's any money out there. And when you call them, you're not going to tell them the details of where the money is because that's the fruits of your research and your learning. What you are going to be telling them is that you've located money that they're eligible to claim and would they like to work with you to get it. You're not giving away your secrets. Instead, you're encouraging them or inviting them to be in connection with you in business so that you can get them their money and you can get paid. The next question people have, which is really an irrelevant question, but I understand why people have it. They'll ask the question, well, how did they lose the house to foreclosure? The answer I'll tell you is it doesn't matter why they lost the house. The fact is they lost the house. Somebody else now owns the house. And what this former owner has that they can really go after is a pile of money that's left over. So the why doesn't matter. Between you and me, what are the whys? Well, there are many of them, but here are some typical ones. People get divorced and there's money problems. People get a severe injury and there's money problems. Someone dies who owned the house and the family doesn't pay the taxes. because there's one family member living in the house who won't allow the house to be shown, won't allow it to be sold, and won't pay anything to maintain the house. Everybody else walks away and the house eventually goes to tax sale. Those are probably 3 biggest reasons. But what I will tell you as a prospective overages entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. And I want you to focus on asking relevant questions. Relevant question, is this an opportunity that fits your personality? Is this an opportunity that could make you the money that you want to make? Is it an opportunity that jazzes you up? Do you get excited about the fact that you can make a lot of money and help a lot of people? Does that get you excited? If it does, it's a good business choice for you. Are you looking for a passive business or an active business? This is an active business. Active means that you've got to orchestrate people calling, people researching, people doing things, or you've got to do those steps yourself. It's not something where you take $1 million and invest it and then get a return. This is an actual business. So if you're looking for an actual business, it's great. If you're looking for an investment, it's not that. So just to be fair, I want to show you all the ins and outs, and where I can show you that is when I can spend a little more time with you on this topic. So if you're interested in the overages business, just click on the link down below. See my intro to the overages business video. It's about 10 minutes long. It's going to give you the ins and outs and give you an introduction, and then it will give you the next steps. So if you say, yeah, my appetite is whetted, I'm interested in really pursuing this further, then there's some further free resources that you can learn about the business. And ultimately, I teach the business, so I can teach it to you and show you how we do what we do to make a ton of money in overages, helping many, many people get restarted in life. And like I say, the best person to be in the overages business is someone who wants to help people and make great money for themselves and their family. That's the ideal overages person. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to go deeper into the overages business, click on that link below, and I'll see you over at the intro to the overages video.